Hey everybody, what's going on? KSA Kris here. Want to do a quick video to talk about coaching. I know a lot of people have asked me, do you do coaching and what do you think about coaching? And I figured I'd talk about, not only am I going to talk about coaching, first off, I can't talk about other coaching programs, but I'll tell you what I'm doing and why I've done it and what my decisions were for doing it. So my opinions on coaching. I'll tell you what I used to think they were, and then I'll tell you what I found out. So feel, felt, found. Feel, felt, found. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. However, what I found out is, by the way, that's a great way to turn somebody whenever they have an objection. So coaching, my original view on coaching was, there's no way in hell I'm going to do that. It's stupid. What a waste of my time. I can learn and figure out everything online. I'm a pretty smart guy. And I do. I think I'm a pretty smart guy. In fact, I think we did extremely well in the beginning with what I knew and what I was learning and what we were able to implement for our team. So I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. However, what I found out is I really wished I would have done coaching sooner. So let me tell you what my process was. I was looking for something. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I knew on the investor side, so you guys know I had a different business, still do, that was on the investor side, and I actually did get coaching on the investor side from a good friend of mine, and it was a huge game changer. And I really started to debate with myself, why would I not take the same approach with retail sales, helping people buy and sell homes? Why wouldn't I implement that into our real estate business? Why wouldn't I want to get coaching or at least get direction, have somebody I could bounce stuff off of that was at a level higher than myself? And I think that's where a lot of us go wrong. I'm a firm believer of association. My dad used to always tell me that when I was younger, be guilty by association, and it didn't always make sense until I got a bit older. But I remember I was hanging out with one of my good friends who, at the time and still had an investments business that's way beyond mine, completely beyond mine. And I met his mentor. His mentor, and I've told this story to people on our team many times, but you haven't heard it. His mentor was extremely short, like super short. Like for a guy, I think he was like maybe 5'4". He was just weird short. And he was not only short, but he talked with a lisp. He was a horrible dresser, and he just he wasn't interesting. I didn't find him as an interesting guy. Now you got to keep in mind, I thought all these negative things then. My mindset now is completely different, but that's because my mindset was broken. And this is years ago. My mindset was extremely broken. This guy was a billionaire. My friend is a multi-millionaire, and I'm hanging out. I'm drinking beers with him. And I was probably 6 beers deep. Back then, I was still in the Marine Corps, so this is probably 4 or 5 years ago. I was starting to get a little wild and having a good time. And I'm just looking at this guy again. This tells you how broken my mindset was. I'm looking at him and I'm thinking all these negative things. Dude's short. He's goofy. He can't talk right. I'm thinking all these negative things as opposed to trying to look at I had an opportunity to hang out and drink beers with a billionaire. I met some other great people while I was there too. I got to meet Eric Thomas. That was really cool. But anyways, so I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of looking at him, and he says, "Well, what's up, Kris?" And I says, "I don't know, man. I'm not sure how to say this nicely." And he says, "Well, just say it." I says, "Well, I feel like in a lot of ways I'm better than you." Again, I told you I had a really broken mindset. And he says, "Interesting. Why aren't you a billionaire?" And I had never thought that way. That whole experience that I had hanging out with my buddy was just like, it was so world changing for me. That whole week that I spent with him. And I looked at him. I thought about it. I actually drank a whole nother beer. I said, "Let me get back to you." And then I went back and I said, "You know what it is? You think differently. You just think differently. The reason why I'm not a billionaire is my mindset isn't right." And he says, "Great, tell me about your 5 closest friends. Why aren't you making the money that you want to?" And then, it's funny because after that I had heard it from other people. "Tell me about your 5 closest friends." If it's like some goofy gimmick thing, but it's a truth. At that time, I had a routine. I hung out with the same 15 guys, all Marines. We'd jump on our Harleys. We'd go out riding. We always went drinking on Friday night. We went to somebody's house for all the UFC fights, and we were drinking. On Saturday we were drinking. During the week we were just working, doing what we did. It was it was fun, don't get me wrong, but even with that lifestyle that we had, it was less about the lifestyle, and it was more about the mentality, the process, the mentality that you just work really hard to get this promotion that really doesn't give you much more after it, and then you learn to identify yourself based off of that thing, that new title that you got. And I tell you, shortly thereafter, I stopped hanging out with them. I see them every now and again, same group, and every now and again we'll probably meet up for a couple beers, but it's probably once every 6 months. Actually, I take that back. Last year it was once the entire year. I went out with them for the whole day and did what they usually do, which is just go out and go drinking. So I did that once last year, and it changed everything for me. So who was I associated with? I was being guilty by association. At that time, I was hanging out with people, not that they're bad people, not that they're losers. They're not losers at all. They're very extremely successful for what they do. They all have successful jobs. But it just wasn't in line with what I wanted to accomplish. So I was not being guilty by association. When we first started building this retail business, I didn't have a whole lot of people I felt like I could reach out to. You know, our brokers, it's funny because we were talking about last night, the brokers that we originally had, they were real proud to say, we've been in the business 16 years and we're getting ready to clear $50 million. Now, after being in the business a couple years with our success, $50 million is not that much. And it took you 16 years to close $50 million worth of sales. That's horrible. It's pretty bad. Like, even if you're doing good, you should be doing 25 million a year in total sales. For 50 in 16 years, you suck. So I didn't know any better when we first came into the retail side. All the people that I had met, I thought they were successful. You know, they kept showing me their Breitling watches, and I've said it on other videos. I don't even wear a watch, and there's a reason for that. I have a goal that I'm chasing right now, where when our entire team reaches a specific amount of volume, I'm setting up a team day where we're all going to go out and we're going to go to a watch shop, and we are all getting matching watches as a team. Instead of me running around here lording like, well, I got the new Breitling, check out my new Breitling. And everybody else is on the struggle and they can't pay their rent. But that's a topic for another time. So I was being guilty by association even when we came into this thing. I was accepting the fact that, well, hell, if we do 12 to 24 deals this year, we're really killing it. That's horrible. Now, with a lot of the guys that I hang out with, they're doing 50 plus deals per month. 50 plus deals per month. It's almost like the 4-minute mile. When people talk about the 4-minute mile in the beginning, it's impossible. You can't run a 4-minute mile. Nobody can run a mile in 4 minutes until somebody did it. Nobody can do it. It's impossible. No different than the earth being flat. It's flat. You sail off the edge. And then one person stepped out and says, you know what? I'm going to go fall off the edge over here. I'm going to go check it out. You know what? I'm going to push myself and I'm going to see if I can run a mile in 4 minutes. Guess what happened? Now everybody runs a damn 4-minute mile. They'd be running sub-4s. But it was impossible. So I started changing who I was associating with. And part of that was actually getting on a coaching program. Actually getting coaching. I searched, I looked, I researched, and I ended up choosing to go on the Tom Ferry program. And, you know, I could tell you a few different reasons why I chose the Tom Ferry program. I think that may be a video for another time, but I believe deeply that I made the right decision. In the beginning, I went into it extremely skeptical. I'm like, you know, this is a lot of money. Am I going to get any return out of it? And I think the number one thing that I did before I committed to the program, and I would highly recommend, if you're looking at coaching, I would highly recommend you think about this. I needed to make sure, because I had done coaching before on the investment side, I needed to make sure that I could 100% completely commit to the idea. If I was going to take coaching and I was going to spend that much money, because it's not cheap. What's funny is, let me rephrase. In the beginning, I thought it wasn't cheap. In the beginning, I thought it was extremely expensive. Now, I just bumped up again. To me, I view it as it's pennies. I'm paying pennies for what I'm actually getting out of it. And, you know, as a lot of you know, I'm not a single agent. We've been building a team. So, you know, it started with a couple of us that met in the Marine Corps, and now we have a team of 17 agents getting ready to go to 20 agents. And this is just over the last couple of years. I wanted to commit to it emotionally. It's one thing to commit to something physically, but if you're not emotionally committed to, I'm going to do whatever it takes, I'm going to be 100% coachable. I'm going to get out of my own way. They're going to tell me stuff that I don't understand or I don't agree with, or I feel like I'm doing it differently. But you know what? I'm going to not just give it a try, but I'm going to commit to it and actually do it, because there's something here that's going to give me success. So let me give you one more quick little thing that you probably didn't know. I actually, when I was researching coaching, I had picked up with this local coach, and this goofball. This is the other reason why I was extremely negative on it. It was some local goofball. And I didn't know any better, because again, I was thinking that certain numbers were pretty impressive. And he's like, oh yeah, this is what I do, this is what I've done. It was all smoke and mirrors, and every time we would have a conversation, he wasn't giving me really anything that was of value. If anything, all he was doing was taking my ideas and trying to implement it in his own business. And here's the thing, what I found out, you know, sometime later, is dude wasn't even a producer. So you're telling me you can't even close 12 deals a year and you're going to coach me on how to do that? Come on, get out of here, man. So I started researching. I found the Tom Ferry program. I was extremely skeptical. I wouldn't go as far as to say that I thought it was a scam, but I was going into it almost half skeptical, like I'm going to get the same thing that I just got with this goofball over here who took my money, and then I found out the truth that he just sucks. He added no value to me, so I wasted a couple $1,000s on this guy, right? And then, what's going on, Chet?
Good morning, morning.
Come say hi to everybody. You guys want to see Chet? Chet's the best looking guy on the team. Come say hi. I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video on coaching today.
All right, awesome.
Say
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So, Chet, I started coaching for our team. How long ago has it been?
Years.
No. I'm not talking about like, you know, with, you know, Michael or any. I'm talking about just for Tom Ferry. So it's probably been a year. It's almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year.
Almost a year. And would you say it was valuable to our business and its growth?
Oh, extremely.
Extremely.
Extremely valuable.
So, good. You going to open house?
Yes.
Cool, man. Good luck.
Make some money. All right. Bye, all.
So, extremely skeptical, and decided, you know, I felt like we needed something. At the time, there was the Core 4, and I felt like we needed something because we were growing and we were changing based off of what I knew or what I could learn at that time. So I pulled the trigger. I started coaching, and I went on the Tom Ferry program. Started on the Core program, and I will tell you, in the beginning, I was still skeptical, and I was getting in my own way. So I was doing what the coach was telling me to, and I had told myself I'm going to emotionally and mentally commit to this, and I'm going to do everything he told me to, and I didn't. And I railed and fought. But then I think I had a day where I really started digging into the content and the products, and I started listening, I started watching, I started researching, and I started implementing. The number one thing that we did that changed everything, that changed the approach and where I was, I sat down and did our yearly plan. You know, what's our business plan? So the business plan was like the game changer for us. Sat down, wrote the business plan, and the deeper I got into it, what I found out was, even what the Tom Ferry program had given me, I felt like we needed to go deeper. That one action, sitting down and truly writing out with guidance a business plan to get to where I wanted to go, based off of a coach that I had that was well beyond where we are, it changed everything. That was the beginning of our major shift. That was the beginning of our profitability shift. That was the beginning of realizing we could run the 4-minute mile. And since then, we haven't even looked back, haven't even slowed down. Actually just bumped up, went to the elite program, and then we're looking to do the team program here in the future. In fact, it's not just me, but the Core 4, we all are going to be getting on the Tom Ferry coaching program because it's just been so beneficial to our business. So I could sit here and go in depth, and I might in another video if people are interested, but I mostly wanted to put up maybe a Feel Felt Found video to kind of tell you guys, what I personally went through, what we've experienced, and the decision that we made and how it's actually changed our business. So kind of in a way, this is a referral, I guess. We're kind of referring somebody else's business, which is rare. I usually don't do that because I doubt Tom Ferry will ever reply back or see this video. I doubt Tom Ferry will ever send me a gift card or pay into our business and financially. But, I just felt it was appropriate. If somebody's looking to get on the Tom Ferry program, I thought it was appropriate because of our success that we've had with it to put together something so you could see from just some guy, because I really believe I'm just some guy. I was in the Marine Corps, had success there. I got out of the Marine Corps, and I just said, I'm going to go into real estate, like a lot of people do. And in a short amount of time, we've had some pretty freaking great success. And I guess I just feel, there's other people like me that are just normal people that just have a dream, that are out there, and maybe you're thinking about joining coaching, and it maybe not even Tom Ferry, but if you're looking at Tom Ferry specifically, maybe you can hear something from a normal guy on why he made the jump and what's come of it. We are so ecstatic about it that, like I said, we're continuing to expand and bump into it. It's been good to us. So yeah, I guess I was going to go deeper originally, but the more I think about it, this is really just us saying this is our experience, and if you're looking to do the same thing, maybe you could have it too. Okay, so that's all I got. Do me a favor, like, share, comment. As always, go check out our YouTube page. Just type in the Real Estate Blitz into Google. It'll get you there. Go check out our Facebook page. Same thing. Type in the Real Estate Blitz. It'll get you there. And you can always go and check me out with any of the other stuff I'm doing. I actually have some masterminds. I've been doing some the team training that I've been doing with our team. So I think that's under the KSA training channel. On Facebook and also YouTube. That's just literally training stuff that I'm doing with the team every morning. And as I'm seeing something that's relevant to people that might want to learn about that, I'm posting it up. Thank you so much, KSA Kris. Have a good one, and talk to you all soon.